Yo, it's your boy, Cody Vondell. I'm back with another video. Today, we're gonna be looking at something really fun. It's a case study on a client of mine. Really cool, working class business. And we're applying some really dope Y2K aesthetics, some late 90s, early 2000s video game inspired kind of look to what they're doing. We're looking at mascots, characters. We're not gonna be building the mascots and characters from scratch. We're gonna be looking at some faces that I've already created. Actually, we will be building a body for one of the characters from scratch. So I hope you guys are ready for 30 minutes of real action-packed Illustrator time. If you want to support my channel, please go check out my Etsy. I have all kinds of holographic stickers that you can pick up, decorate all your stuff with it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm doing a giveaway. I'm throwing a template out there with all kinds of cool icons that you can use for free in all of your design work as soon as I get to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you're sharing the video and interacting with what I'm doing. I greatly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and hop in and get started. All right, so as you can see, right now we have a sticker layout that we've already designed and a little mascot that we've already designed, just his face. He's based off of Kamen Rider. And so what we're doing really quick right here is we're taking care of some stickers. The client wanted 2 stickers. Our whole thing right now is that we're going for style over advertisement. Typically you'd think you wouldn't want something like this to represent a door restore company, but what we're aiming for is something that feels cool, like artwork, like it grabs your attention because it's fun. And then afterwards you realize, wait, this is a business? You know, and the thing is, it's the kind of thing everybody needs stuff like door restoration. You know, that's like a very basic kind of business that everybody's going to need. So we wanted to give it something that stands out, that's very different. And so we created 2 mascots. And right now we're doing 2 sticker layouts based off of, we've already done 1 sticker, which is their business sticker, which is right up here in the corner. So we're just doing a few more stickers. That original sticker is actually for his equipment. And this one's actually going to be used, you know, being put places, slapped up on corners and stuff like that. We're also going to be doing a t-shirt mock-up at the end of this, using these same sticker layouts, but we're going to be doing like a little, just like an icon right here on the shoulder, and then we'll have graphics on the back as well. So we're essentially going to create several different poses for each of these characters so that we have options for the client to kind of choose from for what they want on the back of the shirt. So right now we're in here just kind of, you know, fine-tuning details, trying to get everything lined up. We want to make sure those numbers are very visible. We want to make sure our characters' heads are as big as possible without being too big. So I think this is comfortable right now. I'm not the biggest fan of the phone number going over top of Kamen Rider's antenna, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. So I think the girl looks good. It's just Kamen Rider, but you know, the number is very visible. It works. They match. We're trying to just kind of play with the outline on the number, make sure it's as readable as possible and not, you know, just feeling comfortable. That's all. We're just trying to get things feeling comfortable. Scooting the face down a little bit, trying to get everything even. And these are looking pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable with the way those are looking. So now we're grouping these so that when I select one, I can just select the whole thing. We're getting rid of that extra template that we don't need. And we are going to start playing with a body. So I've already created a body, as you can see, for the female character, but our Kamen Rider character, little robot guy, he needs a body, and it needs to look something like this. So we're in Google looking at, you know, just different instances of Kamen Rider characters, and we're trying to kind of pick out something that could work. So now we're kind of going through some graphics I've already done, and we're going to pull some body parts off of some characters that I've created just for fun and redo them a little bit, recolor them, kind of change the shape a little bit. So here is the Astro Funk Squad, a little group of aliens that I came up with just for fun at one point last year. So we're going to take this guy's, part of this guy's body, and we're going to move it over here, and then we're just going to start, we're going to paste the female in there so we can get them to be about the same size. We're going to get rid of all the background so it's just her body. As you can see, there's one point where we're kind of mixing orange into her color scheme as well, pink and orange, but I think it looks better with her just pink and white and black, with the other guys kind of the orange and green. The cool thing is the color scheme with these guys pops. The orange, pink, green color scheme just is so loud that instantly it's like, what is this little designer toy graffiti character looking thing that I'm, and then that was the whole idea, is we wanted to take away from it's a door restore company and really just play up the fact that it's like we can have a lot of fun with something like this. So a little bit later, you'll see what we do with the characters. It gets even more fun. It's even more door related, but at the same time, it's like you wouldn't know it if you just caught it at a glance. It just looks like cool characters. So right now we're just kind of building out his body. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do another episode shortly after this where we actually create all these pieces from scratch. But for right now, for timing purposes, if I have a ton of pieces already made, we can just start using them. Here's some more characters I created. Actually, this is goofy. I made these characters up when I was in like 6th grade in the year 2001, and last Christmas I was visiting family and going through some old artwork that I had done, and I found these and I was like, whoa, I actually remember making these. I'm gonna do a more modern stylized version of these characters. So I did, and they were kind of playing off of the X-Men when I was younger. It was like they were supposed to be like playing off of the mutant thing. So they were called the Z Squad. So that is those guys, that little group of characters. So we took one of the Z Squad guys' arms. That's mainly what we went there for. And we're not going to use every little detail, but these arms are going to stay, for the most part, these are Kamen Rider's arms now. We'll be adjusting them and doing some different things here and there. But right now we're just going to get a main standing still pose. It's not a T pose, but you know what I'm saying? It's just him standing there with arms to the side. And we'll eventually be doing a few other kind of more aerodynamic poses after we get this one done. We just want to get a basic layout for like what his body looks like. So we wanted him to be, inspired by Kamen Rider, but it didn't have to be literally that. So we gave him like this little kind of, all right, now I'm looking at notes, just kind of figuring out, making sure everything is going according to plan. But yeah, giving the body something that feels simple, but realistic, like to that, what that character might do. So now we're just kind of filling in the colors a little bit. And suddenly, you'd never know that this was a Z Squad body part. This all of a sudden is a customized, brand new piece for this Kamen Rider. And that front-facing shoe, we're not actually going to use. Her shoes, looking about the same size. We want his shoes to be a little bit bigger than hers. We'll scoot that down so that they're... we have them side by side like this because I want him to be just slightly taller than the female character, but not by a lot. So these are starting to take shape, making sure all the symmetry on this guy is looking good. And we're borrowing a few more pieces from the Z Squad, and this time we're creating a little, sort of like this part, what would you call that, of like the motor pants? We're kind of going for that kind of look. So like little riveted motor pant kind of looking thing. It works. I mean, Kamen Rider, it makes sense, right? So now we're actually going to use the Pathfinder tool to, cut part of that. And now we're just playing with these edges, bringing them in a little bit, pushing that layer back some. And we're just kind of, making this, we're making him a slightly taller boy, skinnier legs. That works. And now we're just playing with the layering, just what feels like it's the most appropriate thing to do. These legs, it takes a minute to get them right, you know what I'm saying? Especially, we don't want them to be... we want it to look... I mean, it's a character, but we also want it to feel sort of, sort of realistic. Not necessarily... Realistic isn't the best word, but I don't know. The symmetry, the overall, it has to be there. So, and it's really starting to take shape. Kind of get his crotch looking right, you know what I'm saying? That's the funny part, is doing these little characters, you always got to zoom in to their no-no zones and take a look. It's an awkward little point of the creating a character. All right, so his arms are looking cool. Shoes are looking cool. Making sure our symmetry's there. We're grouping shoes, grouping arms and stuff so that we can just line it all up, hit the align center button, and everything works. So she's grouped. And now I think we're gonna... They look like they're pretty perfectly sized, honestly. We're just kind of changing some of the outlines here and there, but overall, character-wise, he's looking good. This is what we wanted. So we've got sort of a punk rock looking chick and a super cyber looking Sentai Kamen Rider character. It's a nice little duo. It's really fun because the guy who runs the business had these ideas to do, you know, have a Kamen Rider character and this like little punk chick, and I mean he's just giving me all kinds of ideas, and I'm just kind of bringing it to fruition, and it's been a lot of fun. I love doing like characters and stuff for clients, so anytime we get to really flesh out who the characters are and what they're doing and all that kind of stuff, that's a lot of fun. Pushing those back. So he's really starting to take shape. So now we're going to go in and change the orange back to pink, and I think we're going to give her a new, get that little star. There we go, and we're going to push those little, I don't even know what you'd call those, like elbow padding. I give those to a lot of my characters. Yeah, we're just going to pull those, pull the head, make sure it's a little bit smaller. It's maybe a little too small. Yeah, that looks about right. So I think right now we're just going to get our two main poses for both of these guys, and then we're going to work on our action shots. And so the action shots are going to be a lot of fun. You'll see what we do with those. We give them some cool little customized like weapons and stuff. But the weapons are actually door repair tools. So we'll be making some of those here in just a few minutes. So we're just changing out the colors, you know, trying to redo her arms so that they match what we've already done. And it's a process. We're not there yet. I all of a sudden remember she's got these bracelets, so we need to copy and paste some of these bracelets. So we're just gonna clone this, ungroup it, and start grabbing some bracelets. And that's looking about right. So that's all grouped up, and now we're gonna kind of push those back a little bit, get them feeling comfortable. She's got no gloves on, so we're gonna have to change the color of her hand. So it's getting there, definitely getting there. And we're going to give her a little bit more attitude than the Kamen Rider character. Instead of just having both hands to the side, we're going to have hers kind of resting on her hip a little bit. Like she's like, come on, what you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? She's kind of got a little bit of a punk rock attitude. So that arm is looking good. So it's this one that we're going to try to change around and just, you know, make it feel like it's resting on the hip. And it just gives a little bit more personality to this character, I think. Pull that around. I think I can already tell that's not working out, so we're going to create a new shape to kind of replace the main body of that bracelet. That was easy enough. I'm just kind of changing these around. Done. Now all of a sudden, that arm is resting on her hip and not just, you know, by her side. Cool. So I've already designed pretty much the like weapon pieces that we're going to be doing with these guys. So now we're just creating a new art board and playing around with these characters more. Kind of reorganizing stuff, getting rid of things that I don't need. So now we were thinking about making a version of him that's kind of holding up one of the tools. But we're going to try to do a couple of different poses and give them both different tools in each of the poses so that they have plenty of options, because right now we're essentially doing t-shirts. These are poses that are going to be used in t-shirts and advertisements and other things like that. A lot of the advertisements that we have planned out are going to be like these two characters interacting with each other, building things together, and like talking. So there's going to be speech bubbles and stuff like that. And the speech bubbles are going to kind of almost like break the fourth wall and like become an advertisement. So lots of plans with these two characters. And it has been an absolute blast coming up with these and working on this project with my buddy Larry. He's a really cool guy. So we're gonna group that, and all of a sudden she's holding some door repair equipment. But at first glance, you know, you see like a drill gun and like a ruler like this. It almost looks like a laser blaster and a sword or something, like a lightsaber or something, you know. So that's what we're going for. Kind of taking regular tools and turning them into sci-fi weaponry. And this is a very aerodynamic pose compared to just standing there, you know what I mean? She's in total action shot right now. And we're actually going to copy her and use the basic body to create an action shot for our Kamen Rider character as well. So now we're just, just playing with, trying to get every little detail looking right. So we got copies of copies of copies so that we can, take parts and reuse them. So right now we've made a copy of her and we're deleting all of the basic things so that we can pretty much anything that's a defining element of the female character we're redoing to be part of the robot character. So now we've got his shoes there instead of hers. We've changed the color. That looks about right. We're gonna make him just a slight bit taller. Change the color of his hand because he has little green robot hands. And yeah. Tilt his head a little bit, and we're gonna give him the classic Han Solo pose. But the thing is, when we do the drill gun that he's gonna be using, it's not going to be as readable from this this angle as it would be like from the side. So we're going to just, like I said, we're going to do a few different poses. So each character has each, weapon. I hate saying weapon because I'm just like, I want YouTube to like, you know what I'm saying? Each tool, we're going to call them tools. Each tool. Cool, so now they're looking like an action-packed duo. We've got these two versions of them. And now I think we're gonna have to kind of come up with the the drill gun laser blaster. So we've got a Ryobi drill gun, and we're just gonna trace it in the most basic way ever. And you'll see why, because there's a lot of detail in this, and we need this to not be that detailed because it's supposed to be like a little accessory. If you think of these as like designer toys, this is just a little accessory. This isn't anything too over the top. So a lot of detail in this photograph, and we're not really using much of that detail at all. In fact, yeah, once we get these lines on, you'll see where we're going with this. This thing's going to look very minimal compared to that photograph. So now we're rounding out the edges. We need to add a little drill bit. So I think, we're just gonna add on some like basic little pieces just to kind of detail this thing a bit. Got the base on there. We still need to add, the drill, the trigger, a little bit more, turn those thicker lines on. I changed the color of this so it kind of matches his color scheme. So I'm trying to, and then I kind of realized That sort of works, but we could just use that. Scale it down, change the... Yeah, perfect. That's it, yeah. Round out those edges. And this is looking a little bit more like what we wanted it to look like. We're gonna round out the edges on this as well. Looking good. Make that a little bigger. And copy that. Scale it down, kind of resize it a bit. And that's looking really comfortable. That's looking right. But it doesn't look right being held sideways like that. That makes no sense. So, what we're gonna have to do here is, like, this isn't right. We're gonna have to do a front angle version of this little accessory. So, let's go ahead and build it out. We're gonna use our shape tools just to get a basic feel for it. So we know we got that front part on there. We've got our base. And our body. So we're just kind of filling it out. It's not looking exactly right, but you know, it's gonna be in his hand, so you know, that's part of how it goes. Around these corners some. It is starting to shape up. A really quick build, just kind of doing a front angle version. Now this actually is starting to feel accurate, and it didn't take us that long to do. So we're grouping it and putting it sideways, and all of a sudden, scale it down like a little bit. It doesn't read perfectly, but it gets the point across. And if you saw him holding it sideways and see him again and he's pointing it at you, you know what it is. So it doesn't work, in my opinion, like this on its own. But in the context of seeing him holding the tool in multiple different instances, you automatically know what this is. So we just got to build out those other poses so that it's an automatic read. So this is getting to be a pretty messy Illustrator project. There are all kinds of pieces. We're going to have to clean this up at some point, but for right now, we're really just going to focus on getting about 4 different bodies, poses, some of them being totally plain, and some of them being totally aerodynamic, and some of them being something in between. Change that star around, that was bugging me. Kind of get it right in the spot. Cool, cool, cool. Same thing here. So now we have our basic pose and our standing with a tool pose. Next will be aerodynamic tool pose. And then I think we're gonna do one more because the client requested having a similar pose to this, but she's holding the drill instead of Kamen Rider. So, just gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna grab a copy of that, paste it right in here, and go ahead and start changing out the colors. So you know, she's this color pink, so we're just gonna replace that, and yeah. He's got a double color scheme, while hers is just pretty much single colored. So that's working for me. And now we just gotta get these feeling comfortable. And that always takes a second, just to, you just gotta feel it out. You gotta group together parts that'll work together, so you can just click on a single object and it'll be the whole group. But some of these, because of the way that they're layered, we can't group them. So I'm figuring that out, just trying to get an idea of what we're gonna do there. So we're we're gonna bring this down some, and then I just realized that this version of her still has the orange. There's a point where we were considering mixing pink and orange for her before we just went straight pink. So we're gonna have to change that out. That was quick. Now we're gonna put a little star on her shirt. We're gonna move it right over here. That's looking a lot more comfortable. It's not quite there, but it's getting there. I'm trying to delete like any little instances where you just see like a little dot of white or something like that. I'm trying to get rid of that. So it's close. Oh, she falls down because she's not grouped. All right, that's looking comfortable. We've got 4 poses for her. So now we just need 1 more of this guy, and we're gonna trade out the tools so that he is holding the ruler or lightsaber, however you wanna, consider it. Just kind of lining those up. And 1 more of him, and we'll pretty much have all 4 poses. 1. We're just gonna tilt his head a little bit. And the next time I open this project, I have another idea that I'm gonna do with the Kamen Rider guy right here. A little bit different than just the way he's holding his laser blaster drill bit, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm going to try to do one where he's holding it like that instead of like that, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. So now we're going to change the color on this. Actually, we're going to pull it from here just to make sure it's the right size. And drag the color right on it, and he's going to be holding this sort of like Donatello holds his staff, you know what I mean? Gotta work in a Ninja Turtle reference, you know what I'm saying? So now we're just kind of turning his arms around and playing with that, and just, I think this one will kind of be from the other side, so just like that, that's looking good. It's looking pretty comfortable. We're gonna group these. I don't know how I didn't group these already, but that looks comfortable. Cool, that was actually really simple. Wow, so that's looking good. So now, because we're designing this stuff to be applied to t-shirts and stickers and stuff, we're actually going to use these designs really quick and just do a quick little t-shirt mock-up. But not until we clean up this Illustrator file a little bit. So we don't need those guys together. We're pretty much just killing any version of the character that's outdated that we don't need, because some of them we have multiple copies of. I'm gonna move these guys over here. Just adjust them a little bit more, get those a little bit tighter together. And now our artboards are a little bit more minimal. We've got all this stuff, and one thing we can do is we can group a lot of these things together, these like text pieces. That way when I'm playing with all these layers and stuff, I don't have to go through every single layer. When you group a group of layers, you can pretty much pass by it a lot easier. Yeah, grouping really helps the workflow when you have a lot of stuff going on in multiple artboards. So here we are in the Photoshop file, and we have a t-shirt mock-up. We've already done some stuff for them before, so we already have a mock-up ready to go. We just got to put new graphics on it. We're going to scale this down a little bit and save that. And this was the version that he wanted on the t-shirt of her, so we're going to go ahead and put that there. We're going to kind of just play with the placement. We were originally, I think, going to have yeah, that looks nice. Playing with the layer style. Kind of helps the readability of the t-shirt. It feels a little bit more like it's actually on the t-shirt and not just a graphic that's been put on a layer over top of the shirt. And right now I'm just kind of playing with a few little things, trying to make it feel a little bit more realistic, but we're not going to stick with it. Just seeing what all we can do. And now we're going to take some elements. of previous projects that we've done for them. Like this logo right here, and we're just gonna put it right there, but I think the logo looked better shoulder to shoulder and bring her down like that. Cool. And originally he wanted this logo, that exact same logo on the front, but I had the idea to do like the icon that we did for the sticker, and it just kind of feels a little bit more fun. So we're gonna use this pose of him, I guess. And that kind of works out, like the way he's holding the staff and she's holding the blasters. Wow, that kind of, I didn't notice it until I saw the layers over top of each other, but that's funny. So yeah, we're gonna do the same treatment on this guy. And since his antenna is touching the logo, we'll go in there here in a second and kind of, well, right now we're gonna turn down the brightness so it's just a little bit more believable. And now we'll go in there and actually kind of erase a little bit of his antenna so that it feels appropriate. I'm holding down shift while I do this to kind of, so I don't get that like edgy eraser tool look. I mean, it's not perfect. This is a mock-up, just a really basic idea of what the shirt should look like, but you know, that's fine. And so now we're looking at the front of shirt, and these are going to be like a little icon right there, like a, you see that all the time in streetwear. So this has pretty much been the session. It's been a lot of fun working on this. I really love this project. I greatly appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the workflow. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, reach out. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everything you can imagine, I'm there. So talk to me. Let's solve any issues. And other than that, pretty much good to go. I greatly appreciate everything, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video. I'm doing a template giveaway, giving away all kinds of cool icons that we create as soon as I get to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to share this video. If you want to also help support the channel, you could go over to my Etsy and pick up some of these stickers. I got a bunch of them. They're holographic, and you can use them to decorate and customize all your stuff. Well, that's it for now. Our next video, we're going to be looking at more Y2K logos. We're going to be making some characters from scratch. And I worked on a music video for Mike Diva and Milk Blood that came out just a few days ago. So we're going to just hop into my project files there and kind of take a look at my contributions to that video. So that'll be next. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.